What is going on, guys? It's Electric VyPr here, and today I'm talking about a huge NBA trade that just happened. Now, for those of you who didn't hear, the Los Angeles Clippers traded Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons. This was a huge deal, but the big part is it was completely unexpected. I don't think anyone, if you asked them earlier today, thought that this would happen. So let's go over this deal as a whole and then analyze to see what it could mean for the league. So the Clippers traded away power forward Blake Griffin, Willie Green, Bryce Johnson, and a second-round draft pick, and in return received Avery Bradley, Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, and a first-round draft pick from the Detroit Pistons. Now, overall, I think this is a pretty fair deal. When I first got the notification on my phone that told me this, it didn't tell me who was in the deal, so I was really confused on who would be on the Pistons, who could make a fair and reasonable, logically, deal for Blake Griffin. And I guess the combination of Avery Bradley and Tobias Harris mainly were able to accomplish that. This deal really helps the Pistons, who are in somewhat of a slump right now. They aren't doing too good. They were doing really good earlier in the year, and seemingly now something wasn't clicking with them, and I think that was probably one of the reasons why this trade happened, along with the fact that Avery Bradley is a free agent at the end of the year, so getting something of value out of him, especially since Blake Griffin is on a 5-year deal that he just signed this summer. So they're going to have Blake Griffin for a long time, and that's really interesting to me because it puts him alongside Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is also on a pretty big contract, so having the two of them, who are both very good players, on the same team is going to be a lot of fun to watch. It also helps the Clippers in the way that Lou Williams isn't going to be needed as early in games. Avery Bradley is a pretty solid starting shooting guard, and Lou Williams definitely is better coming off the bench. So it's not going to put him under as much pressure where he's going to need to go out and drop 50 like he did against the Warriors. So they can relax a little more at their guard positions, but it does open up a problem at forwards. I don't know who they're going to be starting. They did get Tobias Harris, and he can play either small forward or power forward if he has to. So I don't know whether they're going to be starting Sam Decker at small forward and Harris at power forward, or if they're going to go Harris at small forward and Montrezl Harrell at power forward, for example. But it still does give the Clippers a pretty good lineup regardless. They have Milos Teodosic at point guard. They'll have Avery Bradley at shooting guard. Whatever combination of forwards they decide to go with, DeAndre Jordan at center, and Lou Williams coming off the bench, which is a pretty solid lineup. I think that this lineup could really help them make the playoffs, especially with the Pelicans losing DeMarcus Cousins to injury, which I'm really hoping he has a speedy recovery considering it was an Achilles injury, which is one of the most serious injuries in sports. So I think that with the Pelicans out of the picture, I think the Clippers can definitely make the playoffs now. And I think this also does the same thing to Detroit, who I think that are already in the playoff picture, but it definitely is going to help solidify them in the Eastern Conference. And have Reggie Jackson starting at point guard, either Ish Smith or Kay Felder probably starting at shooting guard. I'm going to guess Stanley Johnson's going to get the starting small forward spot now, which that's a bigger role for him. He was in a lot of trade rumors like a couple months ago, I think. So it's going to be nice for him to get a bigger role because he was a decent player 2 years ago on the Pistons during his rookie season, and just last year he didn't do so well. This year he hasn't done amazing, so it's going to be nice to see him the bigger role. And then you have Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond at your power forward and center. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Their bench isn't that good though, but they did get some decent players from the Clippers. Willie Green, Bryce Johnson, all right, and they did get a second round pick, which who knows what that could turn into. Could be just normal players who's going to be on the bench, or who knows, could be next Isaiah Thomas. I don't really know. But to me, the biggest part of this trade is what it means for the league as a whole, and that is that loyalty to GMs means nothing anymore. Blake Griffin is one of the most loyal players in the NBA. And the fact that he got traded completely unexpectedly, I'm sure he didn't want to leave LA. He made it clear this offseason he wanted to stay in LA. And now without Chris Paul, JJ Redick, a bunch of the other guys on the Clippers who have left over the years, he really was the face of the Clippers. And without Chris Paul especially, now he's really taking the full spotlight now. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this means for free agent deals over the summer, because if Blake Griffin is going to get traded by the Clippers, then what does that mean for someone who's going to be becoming a free agent, like LeBron or DeMarcus Cousins, for just two examples? And I think that with a lot more big-name free agents this offseason, we're going to be seeing a lot more no-trade clauses in contracts such as Carmelo Anthony had in his with the Knicks. So overall, I think this trade is good for the teams, but bad for the league as a whole, because it proves that loyalty really means nothing, but it does help both teams out. So for them, it's definitely going to be good. It's going to make the Clippers' positioning in the Western Conference a lot more interesting, and it's going to probably help Detroit in the East, especially if Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin can work well together, which we'll see. So that was my analysis of the Blake Griffin trade. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts on this trade. I want to hear what you guys think of this, and subscribe if you're new. This is Electric VyPr, and I will see you guys in the next video.